Okay guys, today we're going to do something very simple. Promise you it's very simple. We're just going to write a name on a hood. And I think it looks cute because if I hardly ever put the hoods on my head, my kids, so it'd just be cute to put your last name on here. And it's just a cute like school spirit kind of thing. So this happens to be my son's high school. This weekend they're going to Flagstaff for a marching band thing. I don't have the marching band sweater because my son didn't like the logo, so he's like, ah, it's okay. But it'll be cute to wear that, right? So to support them out in Flagstaff, Arizona, which will be fun. So initially I did pick this up on HSN. I'll have it linked there. That'll be an affiliate link, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchased items through those links. This is a Singer Legacy SE-300, and I've been doing tutorials, unboxing, and then working our way up to harder and harder things. And now I'm back on the side of easier things because I don't want people to feel like you have to do like these in the hoop designs. No, this machine can just do all kinds of fun things, right? Today will be a little bit different in that I'm going to use black thread for the bobbin thread because why not? The sweater was obviously burgundy, like red color, but I'm going to do the stitching in black. So I'm going to go ahead and wind some bobbin thread, just wind the whole thing so I have it ready for other times. I don't know. I think this one, does it say bobbin? I thought this one said bobbin on it. But anyway, the ones that are green like this are bobbin threads from Gutermann, but the other, they usually have like gray, I think, rolls or spools. So this is definitely bobbin thread. It's a little bit different than some other ones. It does say it's 100% polyester, and I don't know that it has a weight on it. It's 500 meters. I'll show you the color I'm going to use on the top thread. It's going to be some black thread, but I just want to show you like between companies, things differ, right? But either way, I'm going to load this up. We're going to go to my computer right now. You can definitely use the fonts that are available on the machine itself. You don't have to use what I'm using. I'm using the Embroidering's free software that helps you manipulate alphas and fonts, and that comes with its own font that you can use. That's free also, so you don't have to buy any to even start with that. So let's go over there while I load up the bobbin, and I'll be back. So to get started, I'm using a Mac, but you would open up your Embroiderings or whatever thing you use for your fonts. So I'm just going to open Embroiderings. Again, I haven't purchased it, so all you do is just say continue. You're just wanting to play with the fonts, just like we did the other day, and I'm just quickly going to go through this. I'm not going to use a font that I paid for. I'm just going to use this one, and that's the one that Embroiderings comes with. They're free one, which is cool. It's basically just for you to play with your fonts and letters that you buy from different places. So I'm just going to say Luna, and I want it all capital. Let me see if it does. Okay, that's lowercase. So Luna, all capital. And I haven't messed with this as far as hoop size or anything else, so I don't need it to be that big. I don't mind this being in the 4-inch hoop, so I guess we can check on that. I think it's here. And I forget which one is the 4-inch. It's like 100 by 100, so this is fine. I'm not going to mess with that. But if you really need to mess with it, please do, okay? It tells you right there that's the 4-inch hoop, basically. And then you can play with this as far as some different things. And for some reason, I have to expand this so you can see. You can actually play with a few of these things, I believe, which is nice because, look, maybe you want it to be like this. And this is all free stuff. That looks actually looks pretty cool, but I'm going to go back to just reset that. I just click reset. Let's see what this looks like. Same kind of thing. I don't know. I'm sure there's a difference. This one started to the bottom or whatever. You can slant your letters. So that's also a free option. If whatever you're using lets you do that, I'm going to reset that. And then you can change the spacing also, which I think the spacing wasn't bad, but I'll just reset that too. So I'm redoing that. And I'm going to want to kind of stretch that out as big as I can in this hoop size. I want to see, these are in centimeters, unfortunately, so you can change the grid actually. I just don't know how to do that right now. I'm sure I can figure it out. But I'm trying to see where we are. Trying to get a good idea of how big this is. Maybe we're maxing it out because 4 inches isn't that big. So maybe we max this thing out, I'm sorry, to fit this whole thing. And I am going to embroider in a way that the shirt, it depends. If you're going to do it sideways, like the hood's going to be sideways, then do your lettering sideways. That way when you see it, it's on there, it's, the way you want it to be. So I'm thinking about that. Let's see. And that's definitely how I would want it. So, and then it's purple right now. Other things you can mess with are like the stitch. Right now it's tatami fill, which is going to be nice and flat. I suppose you could change that up. Look, they have different things. Tatami is very flat where like, it's not like a satin one, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, that's what I would want. You can do your density a little different. You can lower it, higher it. You can do all kinds of things. You guys, I honestly don't play with this that much. I mean, some people like to do the compensation being 1 or 2. I don't know if it makes a difference in how it looks there. Do you see? Okay, look at the, I'm clicking this over here where it says compensation, but look at the image over here. As I up it, it does look nicer if you go to like 2, right? It's a little thicker. Looks pretty good. Let's do that. I want some nice thick letters. And I'm probably going to stitch this in black because you saw, well, I don't know if I showed it to you yet, is red. A very easy thing to do, guys. There is more information on this screen. It's just, it's outside the screen that you don't see it right now, so I'm sorry about that because of the way I expanded my screen. Okay, we have all that. Maybe I'll say, let me make this smaller so you can see it again. So right now what I want to do is go ahead and save that. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring my USB over, so I'm going to save it. My design, I'm going to call it something that makes sense. Just Luna, I guess, right? And then down here, okay, to where, it says volumes. I don't know what that means. It probably means something within the Brilliance. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to put it on my desktop. In my tax forms. I'm just going to save it to the desktop for right now because, again, if I had my USB in here, I would choose the USB, right? You would choose to save it there. I do want to save on my desktop, though, so I always have it, and then I'll just transfer it later, right? And then here, what kind of file, PES, DST, whatever it is that your computer or your machine reads, mine reads XXX, it remembers that. So I'm going to save that. And I'm going to go grab the, let me get out of here. So on desktop, it's right here. It came with 2 different things. I don't know what this one is. I have no idea why that's there, but this is the one, see, I just opened that. This is the one you want. This is the actual file, the luna.xxx. I'm going to take that and put it onto my USB, okay? So I'm just going to plug the USB in really quick. And meet me at my stitchery. I'll be back. Okay, guys. So sorry that I didn't have the USB in there, but I just popped it in there, and then I brought out both files just in case it needs that BE file. I don't know why it would, but I'm going to go ahead and pop this in. I will say again, my friend Maya told me that you don't have to just use the single USB, that she used a regular 2.0 just USB, and it worked just great. So just know that you can start doing that too. Of course, I'm going to turn this guy on. Nothing's in the thing, nothing's in it anywhere. It always tells you to remove the hoop, and I say okay, which I didn't pay attention to that a couple of videos ago, and it like pushed against this, which is not great, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna load up some thread, and I wanted you to see this, or yeah. So this is Sulky 100% viscose, you know, nice stuff. And you can see how nice and shiny it is. And this one is Gutermann 100% polyester. Still embroidery thread, but just a different shine, a different look. You know, it's whatever you want. I'll probably use the shinier one because I really want it to stand out. That looks really lovely. So I'm going to go ahead and thread this, and then we're going to meet up over at my work area because we need to do something to get our sweater ready. You can go to your machine and do your, you know, find your pattern or what you're going to be doing and hoop it up and all that kind of stuff. Whatever it is that you think you need to do first, or like see where the embroidery pattern is going to actually be and then hoop it that way. I loaded it so that it'd be sideways, right? So we know that's going to be there. This is from the last project we did, and I used a ton of this stuff, so I'm going to quick release that. And I told you guys if there's another project where we can bring in a little bit of this and maybe it'll help us do our project, I would do that. And I mean, this is a good amount of this stuff, and I don't really need it to completely touch everything. So I am going to just cut a piece as big as I think I can get from this. I still have tons of this to use. And I'm going to load this up. So this thing needs to be really loose, as loose as I can get it. So generally I'm going to keep it tight like this. And that's as much as you're going to get from this little guy. if you release this, it does release some, but when you go to tighten this, this might end up being a problem. I've had it pop out. The other one started cracking just a little bit, so I just kind of leave it already tightened and just use it as a quick release, not so much a thing that's going to help me right now. So again, all I'm using this for, and I'm using water solvent, sorry I didn't mention, Super Solvy. It's nice and thick, it washes away, and there's nothing left. If you want to use, you know, tearaway, that's fine. It's just going to be visible, so for me, for this, what I wanted to do is be not visible, right? So that when you're wearing your hood, or even on the inside, if it's visible at all, it doesn't look messy. But that's up to you. If you want to use tearaway or something else, go for it. It's not a big deal. Okay, so I'm going to bring this over. I'm sorry I work in such a small space. And I have my hood here. It does have, obviously, a cord in here. I want to clear that. I want to write the Luna part like in here. So you can mark this knowing where the center is. You can pretty much see where the center is. So when I hoop this up, I want to hoop it in a way that I'm clearing that area, or you can even bring it here, to be honest. You can put this wherever you want, okay guys? So I'm going to use, this one doesn't have a center line for some reason. It has a center line in the other direction, but not in this way. So you're going to have to kind of eyeball what that might be, and I feel like that'd be there, right there. And I'm just going to bring this over and try to push it in as well as I can, because we have that whole cord going through there. Now you can remove the cord, of course. Then you have to put it back in, so that's not fun. I'm just going to mess with this as much as I can. I'm going to get my angle better. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to pause and really push this down. Okay guys, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Yes, it's annoying to put it back in, but just put a little, what's the thing called? Well, I actually have tools that help you do that, but if you don't, just put a paper, not a paper clip, but a safety pin on here, like a long one, and then just feel it through, push it through. The reason I'm doing this is because generally, like last time I made my daughter's, I cleared this area. It didn't actually have a thing, so it was thinner, but now that that is there, I need to get rid of it, especially because I'm going to center this in a way that's kind of half hooped, you know? So just keep that in mind. Okay, so again, I'm looking for the center and just kind of eyeballing that. There is a center point on this bottom one, just not on this one for whatever reason. So, okay, I'm gonna give it some force and I'll be back. As you see, I was fighting with this. Okay, it is on there. It's not like super tight, so that when I let it go, it's gonna relax and it's gonna look horrible. It's just nice, okay? A little bit of that hood down here. I'm gonna pull that up because you want everything to be really nice and flat, okay, in the back. And then we can tighten it up. Now, I mean, you can always, I'm just going to tighten this, put the bulk of your hood in the other direction. I wouldn't say putting the sweater over the machine, you know, the free arm thing. I wouldn't do that. But just orient it however you think is best for what you're trying to do, okay? You could also put another solvent on top of it if you think you need that. This is pretty nice stuff. I don't think it's gonna be a problem as the machine moves around, but like jersey knits, you might want to put a second piece of stabilizer or whatever it is you need. In your paperwork, in your manual, it should talk about those kinds of things, and just follow that. So the USB is already in there. We could go in here. Oh, actually, let's go back. If you wanted to just do a font from here, you have a few. You have 30 point, 15 point, 7 point, like just lettering, you know, and then you have a script one. But anyway, I'm going to use my own. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to go into USB, and I'm going to look for the one we just put on there, which is Luna. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see it just says Luna. And of course you say yes. And I'm going to switch out the hoop is this other little guy. So, oh, right here, down here, the size. And it says 180. It's telling me I can't use my 100, which is a bummer because that's what I have. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to go switch it out. Okay, so on this program, it says 114, but it says that's about 4 inches. But for this, it says 100, and I can't really do anything to change that here. Let me show you. Actually, maybe we can. Maybe we can. Let's leave that alone. Let's do this. I don't know if I can shrink this. That's what I was wondering. I might be able to. It might not know what to do. Yeah, it's telling me I can't shrink it. because it doesn't really know how to read the file to do that. Again, for the same reason that you can't just bring a font in here and type up with it. So, all right, I'm gonna go back over there and just make it a little bit smaller, guys. Sorry. These are the things that happen. Okay, I'm just going to go back home, which is normally what I do. And once it's at home, I shut it off and then I pull this out. So it's all ready to go. I just have to make this smaller. All right, I'll be back. Okay, guys, so sorry about that. That is kind of annoying, but you know, it'll happen. And that's the same reason I'm telling you that the machine has some limitations, right? So let's go here. If I open luna.xxx, it doesn't really do anything. I want to see if I double click. Okay, I'm double clicking on that one that said .be. I'm just going to continue and see if it opens that file. If it doesn't, all I did was open Brilliance. So, okay, up here, I'm going to open Brilliance, should I say. I'm going to open this. See how XXX doesn't let you bring it in? So I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to click the BE one. It shows me what that looks like. I'm going to say open. And here we are. And I'm going to mess with the hoop. So the hoop is at 114. I am going to go ahead and reset that or set that to 100. I did this myself the other day. It's called small. That's what I called it. But see, it says 100 by 100 or approximately 4 inches. So if you want to make your own, all you do is say new and then put a name for it if you want, and then put the measurements. So for me, it was 100 by 100, and then I just say save it, right? So I'm going to apply that. And now that we've done that, oh, sorry, okay. It's obviously too big, this one. So I'm going to shrink this, and I think there's a way that you can shrink it to fit, but that's okay. I'm just going to shrink that. I can't tell if it's just in there or not. I feel, okay, I see. See where it's red down here? It's telling you, So let me scroll down here. Girl, I'm telling you, this thing. I made it too large, that's all. Let's shrink it. I don't want it that big. Okay. And for me, that's about it. Now, I'm just wondering how picky the singer is. Like, is it going to say, oh no, because you want it up at the top left and now you're, you know, wherever. I don't know. I'm going to try to make it as big as I can and still be okay. Nope, nope, nope. Red, red, red. No, that's too little. Okay, now I'm just messing with this thing. Okay. Either way, I'm going to make it so it fits here. The most maxed out I can do. And I'm just dragging it because I love to live dangerously too. Okay, I think that's it, guys. All right, so I'm going to check and see. I want to see a couple things. Yeah, that's the switcher. This one will flip it inside out. There's a bunch of things. You can click this again, and I think it dead centers it, which I just took time to not do that, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to save it now, and hopefully that works. And if it doesn't, I'm going to save it again as whatever, because now I don't know that this one's gonna do what I want it to do. Okay, I don't know if that updated that one. That's my only problem here, because I don't know this thing well enough, but that's okay. Okay, I'm gonna copy this again over here, and I'm just gonna drag them. An older one, yes, I'm gonna replace that, and then let's see what this one tells me. Replace that, yes. Okay, that should do it. Okay, we'll see. I'm going to eject this, then we'll go back to the machine. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this in here and turn it on, and I'm going to go through all the paces to see if it's going to take it correctly. I don't want to waste your guys' time, but let me turn that on. Everything's pretty much ready to go. I mean, everything's loaded. I'm going to make 3 or 4 of these. 3 for sure, but possibly 4, so I'm just going to keep going with that. Let's go in here, let's go in here. Let's go down here. Let's see if it updated. Okay, we're doing some funny things there. Let's go in here. 100 by 100. Perfect. Okay, so now we're cooking with gas. All right. Now I'm gonna bring this guy over here and finagle this under here as much as I can. So we're gonna lift up our presser foot, try to get this in here. A little bit more behind, sorry. Oh. You know what, let me readjust. Can you guys see? Not so much. You see my popcorn maker back there with the little monstera plants all around? Okay, let me tuck that in. There we go. Now, this is a lot of fabric to just be sitting here. So again, you can yeah, I could have faced it backwards, right? Or whatever it is that you want with this. But anyway, I have that ready to go here. I'm kind of scared to just say, go for it. I don't know why. It scares me. But let me reposition my camera. Okay, guys. One other thing. This is all one file. What I want to do is see where it's going to do this. So those are other things we like to do. So right now, I'm just going to leave it up. I think it's going to start there. Obviously, it's going to do whatever it's doing. So that's one point. Down here, across here, and then all the way up there. Okay, let me see that again because I feel like that's center. That's that one. Yeah, that's a little bit off. So remember, this thing is 4x4, but it's really like 4x6. And so it's going to put it here. I think I need to move this guy because I don't think I can move any of that. Yeah, that's as much as I can get up there. So I'm going to readjust for that. I'm going to bring the hood a little further up, like maybe an inch, okay? And I'll be right back. So I'm going to unhoop it and just move it up about an inch. So I hope this makes sense. Right now it's going to stitch it here. It's basically this 4-inch thing. But it's because there's an extra like 1.5 or 2 inches up here that it's not going to stitch. It stitches in this 4 inches, so it'd be way crooked. So what I need to do is pull this a little more down, you know what I'm saying, so that my stitching will start here essentially and not be so lopsided. So I'm going to unhoop this and I'm going to bring this down a little bit. So I just made my adjustment. So my brother machine, it also has a hoop that's like this, and it comes with a little plastic guy that when you put it on there, you can see that the top 1.5 inches or whatever is not going to do anything. So you're supposed to use that to help you center your designs. This one doesn't come with that, but it does mention it in the book, like, hey, you know, just know it's not going to fill that whole area. So anyway, let's see where we're at now, if that's any better. So it's going to start here and go across that way. And let me see, where's my middle, my center line? That's too much, I think. Hold on. Let's go back. It doesn't really take all this guesswork. I'm just like, okay, so if that's the center, I might have pulled it down a little too much, guys. That's the center of the design. See, the center of the design is actually pretty close to where I want it to be. I mean, honestly, if I drop that down, I can see my line here. It's going to be right here. So let me see why it feels like that back side of it is so far. Hold on. Okay, there's that guy. Let's try it out. And if it's way crooked, then what I will do is rip it out, which would be really not fun. But I want to see where I'm at. And if the center was about there, I mean, that's about right. It just seems so far. I don't know why. Okay, well, I mean, that's as good as it's going to get. So let's go for it, I guess. And just making sure. I'm going to stay here because there's so much bulk over here and my sweater's back here. I'm just going to say, let's go. It wants me to cut the thread, but it's basically stuck underneath anyway, so I'm just going to try to pick it out here. See, guys, there's always a little something you got to take care of. I know I was like, this is going to be quick, but there we go. You should stitch it all out all at once. So we will see. Now, there are some fonts when you buy them that have like 3-inch letters, 4-inch letters, and maybe that's what you want, right? Some really big letters. This is as big as I can get in this hoop. Now, that's the other thing. I chose this hoop. I didn't have to choose this hoop. I could choose the larger one and get some really big letters in there, right? But I didn't, so. Stitching up really nicely. Oh, it broke. All right, I gotta put the new thread back. My goodness, I'll be right back. We did that. I'm gonna bring that down, and let's go back a couple stitches because I don't know where it was, but that's fine. Let's press play. All right. You know, I did put a very big spool on here, and you do have a little spool net that you can put on this in case it's winding in a funny way. It helps it come out more smoothly. You can definitely put that on your machine. Okay, well I'm gonna keep going. You guys, it just from the one to the next letter, it tacks down in between and it's just going. I got up to do other things, but you can definitely situate your sweater so it's past the hole on the other side. I mean, there's just different ways to put it. I just kept it with me. But there goes the U, and then it's gonna do the N and the A, of course. Sometimes eyeballing is tricky, right? Because when I eyeballed it and I pulled it down, the center line is right in between the U and the N, so that's perfect. But to me, when I looked at it, when it was telling me where I was going to stitch, I'm like, it looks like it's a little bit off, but I left it. Thank goodness. Okay, so you guys remember we did thicken this up by doing a 2 or whatever. Different types of fills, right? We did tatami. It's a little different look. And honestly, you can go back over it again if you want it much thicker. Just repeat the pattern, you know, do it again. But I think for this kind of purpose, I like that. It's good. It's not like sorority letters or like emblem kinds of things, but again, there are different fills, so just play with that, play with the thickness. I mean, watch other tutorials, obviously, of people who are like always doing this. My only thing with that is that they usually start off with all the knowledge and then they forget to mention different things, but yeah. Or they already have like these softwares where you paid for, you know, $400, $500, whatever, and it's, yeah, you don't have that. Anyway, still good knowledge though. Okay, guys, just finishing. Cut the thread and it tells me I'm done, so I'm just gonna say okay, and I already cut that thread, and let me put the camera down. I'll be right back. Kind of new to this machine, and then, you know, embroidery, at least I am. If you want it to be thicker, like I said, it goes right back to the same spot. It'll show you it's going to do the same thing. If you want to just do it again, you can do it again. It's not going to hurt this at all, right? But I am done, so I'm just going to open this up, undo this, take it out. And look at that. Okay, like I said, this was pretty much right in the center. It's a little bit over that way, but again, I was eyeballing. And so there we go. This one's super easy. I don't think I need to go to my table or anything. We're just gonna unhoop it and remove the back. Look at, I mean, it looks pretty good. This is where it lost its stitch. So there's that. The rest of the stuff will just wash away. And it looks nice and clean on the inside, just in case someone does happen to see that. But let me clip my little stitches and we'll take a look. Okay, so maybe you guys are interested here. You know, there's tack down between each letter, so you can definitely get in here with a smaller scissor, not this big, huge scissor there. But anyway, just you can trim in between them. And on the back, I would just leave it. I don't care about that at all. So that is it, guys. So I'll take, again, I'll put the, what's the thing called? My little drawstring here back in there. But, so now when you're wearing it, it says Luna on the back. You have your grizzlies. All right, there we go. How cute is that, right? And like I said, I'm going to make a few more. If you don't like this pattern of tatami, I wanted to show you up close so you can know what tatami looks like. It's a very popular one. You can use this for badges. It's like a real tight kind of stitch, where the satin stitch is going to be big, long stitches, right? This one has like interlocking halfway, you know? That's kind of what it is. If you look at this like that, halfway there. And in embroiderings, you can see what it looks like. So if you choose another stitch type and you're like, ooh, no, or whatever, you can see it, right? So that's really nice. So yeah, I'm going to finish up my projects. Hopefully that gave you some idea of how to do that. Again, when it loses bobbin thread, when it snaps, you know, the thread, I love this machine. My first one, my CE-100, would have no idea what to do. And they're like, oh, you just go back. And it's like, what? Because it would never go back to the same spot. Because as soon as you took off the hoop to fix something, or even just to fix the thing, there was no going back, and it didn't do new tack downs. It was just a very old machine. So this is much better. Again, we're learning. So I hope you guys found that information useful. And again, it's how you hooped it up. I mean, if it's not straight here, it's because that's how I put it in there. It's not the machine doing that, right? This top, and this could have gotten down a little bit lower. So anyway, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll have images again when you are done, which I'm not quite done, so I'm not going to do that, but you would go ahead and park your machine. Just go in here, go into your hoop, press the P, let it park, and then turn your machine off, okay? All right. I'm going to keep going because I have other work to do. I don't know. All right, more sweaters.